we'll be breaking down my favorite ads management strategies from 2024, the ones that I will for sure be going back to time and time again in 2025. It's been a good year of testing. Meta has come out with some new options. I've tested them. I'll tell you my favorite ones and even tell you a couple that are trash.
We're talking about his Olympic gold medal testing framework, how to use Advantage Plus audiences, creative strategies that maximize performance, and why one-day engaged view attribution settings are working. So
Let's jump into it. Thank you for being here, co-host Jamie. It's the end of the year. You've been the co-host for what, 4 months?
4 months.
And my wife for what, 15 years?
Yes, sir.
It's been
That is
good. It's
right.
been good. It's been really good. It's actually nighttime right now. I am blocking the presents that we're wrapping up for Christmas.
Yeah, you might see a sneak peek of
Can you see
some
those?
presents
Can you see
behind
can
us.
you see those over my shoulder right there? Yeah, we're gonna
Gonna do some
we're going
wrapping.
to wrap up the presents, and I actually convinced Jamie to rent Alien Romulus. So the good thing is we'll be distracted from the present, so we won't get too scared by the scary parts because we just won't have to look.
Yeah.
So that's coming up for us right after we finish recording this episode. So
So we're wrapping
this
up presents and wrapping up the year
with great
and
strategies.
yes, with great strategies. So QUÄY.jo, we're gonna kind of do interview style today.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, what is this Olympic gold medal testing framework? Where did you come up with the name? Is it because of the Olympics this past year?
Yes,
Or
it is. It's because of the Olympics. So this is a strategy that I've been doing before 2024, but it's what cuts ad costs for clients. I love it.
which is always good.
It's how I start
All right.
off new client accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you the quick rundown. If you want more info, I actually took just this strategy and I explain it visually, and it was like $17. I discounted it to $1.
That's
Everyone
exciting.
must, like you're listening to this right now. If you're running ads or you're thinking about running ads, go get that. Please test like this. It will cut your ad cost. I've had folks who have cut their ad cost up to 60%. Just
Wow.
being prepared.
Wow.
Right? So
All
here
right,
it
so
is.
tell us what it is, why it works, and how we can apply this.
Right. So it's taking each component of the ad and testing it with variations. So there's ad copy, right? All the text in there. In the body of the ad, there's the visuals. It could be video, could be graphics. Text on image equals graphics. And it's the headlines and it's the audiences. There's those four things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always start off with the ad copy. That means I get 3 variations of ad copy,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've added
Yes,
the
I
ads
do.
too. But yeah, 3 versions of ad copy. You match those all up with the exact same visual and run those for a handful of days. And because the only thing that's changing from in the 3 ads is the ad copy, then you can say after a handful of days which ad copy is your best
Mm-hmm.
with the lowest cost per lead,
We say,
best sales
we
results.
got a winner.
hmm hmm The reason it's called Olympic gold medal testing is just think about like an Olympic track and field event or athletic events, if you will. I still like to say track and field. And think like the 100-meter dash, they start off with the trials and a bunch of people race. I'm oversimplifying it, but from each round or from each heat, the top 2 progress to the next heat, and then you have the semifinals and the finals. The goal here is to end up with 2 or 3 ads that make it to the finals that get the best results. So after you figure out the best ad copy, then you shut off the losers, keep that best ad copy running, and then pair that best ad copy with some more visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Let those run. You should be able to see like which visuals are getting you the lowest cost per lead with that best ad copy. Then it's time to shut off the losers, keep the winner running,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it's winners, that's okay. And then go ahead and try different headlines. You're just stacking up or keeping the best of each component and then pairing it with some new variations for another component.
Right.
And after, 2 weeks, you end up with the best performing ads,
Right.
2 or 3 of them. Yep.
It's always really interesting to me because ones that I think like, oh, this is a really beautiful ad or a reel or whatever, and they just don't perform well, or ones that I don't think will perform well do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you won't ever know until you test.
Yep.
And even certain colors, it's the exact same ad, and for some reason, people like yellow instead of
You just have to
purple.
test,
I don't know.
like we bring our own biases to
Right.
this whole ads management game. But the beauty of this is that if you test, you just don't know what's going to
Mhm.
perform the best. That's why we just love the data and we can run ads and
Right.
target audiences. And oh yeah, in this framework too, you do want to test audiences too. Once
Mhm.
you test all the ad components, ad copy, visuals, and the headline, and let the data show you what's going to work, you know? Like,
Right.
who cares what I like the best? What ultimately matters is what's getting the best results for the business. So I already said I discounted this. You can get the ad testing cheat code for $1. That's an amazing deal.
$1. Yeah.
Take it,
That's amazing.
look at how I do it visually. You even get to
Mm-hmm.
peek over my shoulder as I do this inside of a client's account. Of course, I blur out the client account details so you can't tell which client
Right.
because client confidentiality. And that's it. Like everybody should be testing like this. You deserve to have, I mean, double your lead cost. Spend less on ads because you double the amount of leads you can get.
Right.
All right,
Exactly.
here's the next thing.
All right, so let's talk Advantage Plus warm audiences for SLO funnels.
So like Meta releases different kinds of things all the time, different kinds of options to optimize ads. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and you have to test them. This is another one that I've been doing for a while. Basically, anytime I have an SLO funnel, self-liquidating offer for the uninitiated, all that means is we're
Mhm,
running ads directly to a low ticket offer. I do use
mhm,
warm Advantage Plus audiences. What does Advantage Plus mean at the audience level? This option, when you see it, basically, let me contrast it with the original audience style, okay?
mhm,
Originally, in Meta Ad Manager, in Facebook and Instagram ads management, you choose an audience and it's like hard guidelines.
mhm,
And as you define that audience, then Meta, the algorithm, has to stay within the guidelines, you know?
mhm.
And that's it. It only shows the ads to the kind of audience you define. Nowadays, because algorithms that be learning, Meta has figured out in a way that's actually beneficial to you, the advertiser, and definitely to us and our clients,
Mhm.
where you can set the guidelines, but with Audience Plus, it will stray from the guidelines when it feels like it can get better results. But the
Right.
thing is with warm audiences at least, I am still testing this with cold audiences, but with warm audiences, and by warm audiences, I mean,
Email lists,
mhm,
your Facebook followers, your Instagram followers, your
yeah.
customer list, website visitors, all those people who have already engaged with you or even purchased from you.
That algorithm can be depended on to expand on its own outside of that when it feels it's in the best interest of the client's account or your account as you're listening. And it works quite well. So you want to do SLO funnels? Start off with that audience to get the easiest chance of success.
Okay, I just got this great picture in my mind, actually.
Hmm. Okay.
So anybody who has ever watched The Flash,
Mm.
so like think of the original audiences before, like those hard walls, right? Those hard parameters, hard stop. But then The Flash, like when he starts figuring out that he can like kind of, what do you call it? Like where he moves so fast and he can like actually go through the
I believe
wall.
it's called phasing.
Phasing, thank you.
He
That's the word.
vibrates
Yeah.
like so fast at
Yeah.
the frequency that the atoms are.
That's like the Advantage Plus audience, right? Where it's kind of like you can kind of go through those parameters as like the algorithm's going to kind of phase through those and bring in more people as it sees
I'll take it.
necessary.
I'll
Doesn't it?
take it. Yeah.
That works, doesn't it?
You're just making me miss Barry Allen. I want to go watch the Flash. We never actually finished all of the Flash
Yeah, we got to go back and
seasons. We
watch
kind of
that.
stopped. Like
Yeah.
there was like Reverse Flash, and there was like this Monster
It started
Flash,
getting
and
confusing.
it did.
And all of the time.
And more people started getting the Flash speed, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
Because like that other dude, what was his name? Like the mixed guy, the mixed kid.
Oh yeah, who was kind of like his brother?
Yeah, and then like his girlfriend got it. Didn't Iris get it? Anyway,
No, I don't know.
next
Anyway,
thing.
moving along. So let's talk about
Ooh.
Advantage plus Creative. These are some of those enhancements. So
All
let's
right, so
talk
all the
about
way at
those.
the ad level,
Yeah.
you can choose the way that Meta will tweak your ad, not randomly, according to its algorithmic whims, as it
Hmm.
shows to different people. Like we're talking, well, there's like 8 different settings, but I'm going to tell you my favorite one because you have to test them, first of all. Don't just turn them all on. In general, when you turn them all on, at least in my client accounts, the performance goes down. So I
Hmm.
like to test the individual algorithmic creative tweaks that are made
Each
or applied,
component. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
to the ad. So here's one. First of all, I always have relevant comments on because it takes the best comments or what it thinks are the best and shows them at the top just underneath the ad.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
visual touch-ups. I generally use that because it like can change the brightness on the fly, you know, and maybe up the contrast a little bit. And that seems to be the
Hmm.
performance seems to be pretty good. So the algorithm does its thing. Text improvements. Now, this is where the algorithm can, anytime it wants to any person when it's showing an ad, take any part of the text and show it in any other place in the ad. So think like what you write in the ad copy
Mm.
body, parts of that could show up as the headline, or parts of it could show up as like the call to action on Instagram, or parts of the headline that you so carefully crafted could show up in other places of the ad. It's all like ad copy text spaghetti. However, it can be good, but you have to test it in isolation. And so when I say test it, I mean like have a version of the ad that's just running with no enhancements, no Advantage Plus creative. So that means your graphic or your video displays exactly as you designed it or edited it.
Mhm.
And then have another version of the ad that has like one of the enhancements on and see what outperforms and just test systematically. Of course, this comes after you do, because you might be like listening and like, good Lord, that's just a lot. I don't have time for all that. Well, then don't worry. Like, first, just do the testing that I talked about at the
Right.
beginning of this episode. And then, if you want to refine, test the various Advantage Plus creative options. I'm just telling you what I've tested and what's worked pretty well for me. So, yeah, visual touch ups. I like that. Usually use those. Relevant comments always on, and text improvements can be good, but you gotta test it. I usually don't
Right.
start with that on. I keep it
Right.
off.
Just a quick pro tip here, though. If you're not really wanting to test any of the Advantage Plus creative, like just make sure that you go in and turn everything off because Meta will be sneaky. And even when you
Mhm.
think you have it all off, and then you go and you change something else, and then you go back and you're like, what? How did these ad site links get turned on? Or there's just some random
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that get turned on. So just be careful that everything is off that you want off and only the ones are on that you want on. So
Correct.
great.
So
Moving along to
moving along.
the one-day engaged view attribution setting. That sounds complicated. QUAY.jo, break it down for us.
It's a mouthful for sure.
It is.
It is. I must add that I'm just enjoying looking at my jawline because every time I look at you, I can see on the monitor, like
Mm,
right here, and
yeah.
it's like the way it looks. I just shaved this evening,
Yeah,
you
you
know.
look nice. You
Yeah, I
look nice.
look pretty
Shave and a
good.
haircut.
Yeah, shaved
Yeah,
a haircut.
yeah.
I mean, please leave a comment on the video on YouTube. If you like this kind of banter, we can keep it up because this is what I do off camera. Maybe
Yeah.
next time I bring the real QUAY.jo on camera shoot. All right, so one day engaged view attribution setting. Thanks for putting up with me, Jamie. You're such a great wife.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All
I
right,
love you.
I love you too. So this is a game changer. Meta introduced this in January of 2024 because I googled it and went to Facebook's official article on it.
Mm,
And basically, without making it complicated, turn it on. Turn it on. All it does, it works with video, and it basically looks at a 1 day attribution window, let's say a 1 day measurement window, and the people who interacted with your video ad, let's call it your vertical video, your Instagram reel or your Facebook reel, it finds more people like them,
mm.
but it's optimizing every day. That's how I'm going to explain it in layman's terms. If you decide you have a better explanation, go ahead and leave a comment. Basically, turn that one on always, please. Like, I had one client account, they were getting like $9 leads. And I was going, some accounts are just harder than the others. Like, and I'm just going through all the testing things and just cannot bring the lead cost down. And I turned this setting on and it went down to like around $2 leads. I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, there we go.
They were happy.
Use that setting,
Mm-hmm.
please. Right now, if you're running
Okay.
your ads, turn it on. Of course, test, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the disclaimer. We are just a random couple on the other side of your screen or on the other side of your headphones and, test the things that we're telling you to do. We're just
Right.
speaking from our experience. None of this is guaranteed to work for you. What is guaranteed to work for you is if you test in your own ad account, then you will see which options work for you. There are general guidelines, there's things that you can do, best practices, but just test, 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 and you'll find what works best for your business and your niche
Right.
with your visuals and your ad copy.
And I just want to insert here
Yeah.
too that always test keeping in mind your budget and what you feel comfortable with, right? So
Right.
start small, start with what you can afford, with what you
Right.
feel comfortable with. Don't think like, oh, I heard this and it's going to totally work for me and I'm just going to throw tons of money at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So start small, start with what you're comfortable with as you are testing all of these things that we've been talking about today.
Yeah, and then reach out to us in the DMs on Instagram. Those links are in the description below. Ask us how we liked Alien Romulus because we're gonna watch it. Now you have to. 'Cause
I don't know
said
if I'm
it
going to make it through the
on
whole
it
thing
will. It depends on
tonight.
how quickly we can wrap presents.
All
I
right.
can't wait to give my son
Oh,
this Shark RC car. I mean, this thing
he's
rips.
been eyeing it
I like
for
radio
a
control cars,
while.
you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully our kids are actually asleep. Otherwise they'll know what he's getting, but that's okay.